I don't have to say a thing, they just know already. Yeah, you know.
Hey, out there in YouTube land, welcome to East Lubbock, Texas Live. I'm Victor Hatchett with my co-host brother Skyrie, and we got a special guest, Andrew, in with us tonight. Hey man, appreciate y'all tuning in every week. We're going to continue to try to come and bring you something positive each and every week. And I'm going to pass it on to brother Skyrie so he can let y'all know what we all about on East Lubbock, Texas Live.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? I greet you all in peace. What we're about is showing that there are people actively involved in making contributions in East Lubbock, Texas. These are people who have an interest in making sure commerce is happening here, making sure that our community is recognized as a community. Our criteria for the show is that you be the truth and have the courage to tell the truth about your interest in waking up with an ideal of how to empower East Lubbock, Texas. This young man here tonight is an entrepreneur, somebody that many people would not think exists in this community. But we're here to show you, not just tell you, that we are here live and kicking with an interest of empowering East Lubbock, Texas. And I'm going to turn it back over to my co-host, Brother Vic.
Hey, brother, how y'all? Hey, out there in YouTube land, we got Andrew in the building tonight, and we're just going to talk with him about what he's got going on so far. Hey, Andrew, tell us a little bit about yourself, brother. What you got going on, man?
Name is Andrew Franklin, man. And I mean, like I say, I love entrepreneurship. Business owner, I love the community, us coming together and trying to build something. But it just wasn't born overnight. And I went through tedious hardships and, long things, 10 years, a long time in prison. So, it's one of those things where, I gradually had to take time to step my way up.
Yeah, prison. So you spend time in prison, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, we see that prison didn't have a negative effect on you. It had a positive effect on you.
Absolutely. And, it doesn't happen like that all the time, though. It's how you utilize your time.
Yes, sir.
And if you're down there using a unit, which is, prison as a university, like Malcolm X said, time is one of the most dangerous things you can give a man. And so when you're down there reading and soaking up knowledge and really wanting to get out and be determined and make a, make a transition where you can build your castle with your community. Because you don't have unity without
yes, sir.
Community. You can't spell community without unity.
Yes, sir.
And that's the thing where us coming together as a whole, a collective whole.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now what we're talking about is your individual contribution to the community.
Absolutely.
You that place you were at,
right.
Prison. We call it the belly of the whale. Some people call it a university where you can be someone who lose your sanity or regain it.
Right.
And obviously you regain yours. You got the balance.
Right.
I'm sure that you did a little studying, but you had your goals set. And it seems as though that, like you say, you're on the right track now, man. That's what we want to do, is show that there's examples from all walks of life that you can get in the right lane, man, and make a contribution as well as contribute to your idea of climbing the ladder of success.
Definitely.
So tell us a little bit about what you actually do now.
Right now I'm in the vending business, and that right there is a $1 billion industry. As small as it sounds, back then I thought the candy lady and all that wasn't getting no money. But understanding they making $400 to $1,000 a day, that's not play money. Where you can, hey, I need to get into this business. You just see opportunities, and it takes risk.
Okay, well, tell us how you started.
I've been out a year now, and I started with pressure washing. That was my first business, and it somewhat did good in the summer. I didn't anticipate winter like I should have, and it failed.
Yes, sir.
It fell all the way. It's still up and running, but it's like one of those things I had to make a transition. Okay, this is not working.
Mm-hmm.
So the vending business, it was just the idea. I didn't reinvent the wheel. It was something I already had seen people are doing. Oh, I can get in where I fit in.
Yes, sir.
And so it didn't take a lot to start up. The registration process. It's just the know-how of things. And sometimes when you don't have the know-how, it limits.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about the registration.
All it takes is a certificate registration where basically each individual vending machine, it is listed as like basically a person. So you got to have an EIN number.
Yes, sir.
And so these are the things and steps, and to get into it, because I know most people just want to, I buy a machine and hop into it and think that's it, but it is legalities behind it.
Okay.
And so but it's nothing that you can't cross. I mean, it's an obstacle. Red tape, we get through it.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So tell us some of the obstacles that were in your way, if there are any.
I mean, besides, like I say, the legal process, it's the obstacles. I mean, hey, getting up every day and just showing up, man, it's half the battle, man. So I mean, just hey.
So you have your own machines, or are you partnered with somebody?
Our own machines.
All of them are yours.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Gotta go. I mean, my thing is, the borrower is always the slave to the lender, and I mean, cash, go straight with it, man. I mean, sometimes we try to buy into things knowing we can't afford it. If you can't buy cash, that's just my ideal of things. You can't afford it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's a good strategy. I mean,
it's my idea.
You don't owe anybody if it's yours. Yes, I understand that.
Hey, and when we come back on East Lubbock, Texas Live, me and Brother Ascari will continue to elaborate with Brother Drew. All right, we'll be right back.
You got what they say?
Hey, Facebook family, welcome back to East Lubbock, Texas Live. I'm Victor Hatchett with my co-host, Brother Ascari, and we got a special guest, Andrew, in the building tonight. And we're going to continue to elaborate on the business of vending. Hey, Brother Ascari, keep shooting it to him.
Yes, sir. We were doing the break. We was asking him some other questions so we can be very clear on the fact that you can get in this lane. You can actually get in the lane of being a vendor, having your own vending machines, placing them throughout the city in stores that were permitted in barbershops. As a matter of fact, our broadcast is here at Paul's Barbershop, and our brother guest for the night has a vending machine here. So
right.
What we're trying to do is show people, man, if you can make hustling legit, you can keep your money legit, your investments legit. We already have heard this young man talk about a period of time where he was stagnated as far as being free. But he didn't stagnate his vision or his mentality or his mind to study of how to become an entrepreneur in a legitimate sense. And he's reached that goal. He's also told us that he started with a car wash, a mobile car wash, that he say failed. All we saying it just laid the pavement for him to reach the vending machine. So now we want to ask a little bit more detail of how the process goes of how to get in that vending business. So it's on you, brother. Tell us, be a little clear with us.
To be honest, it's very easier than you think it is. And the process is, man, the startup, it doesn't cost a lot of money at all. You can find vending machines online, on Craigslist, any of your social media sites, man, like eBay, Amazon, and from $400 to $1,000, you can have your own combo machine, soda machine, and things of that nature. And I mean, one machine, don't think of it as being small. I mean, location is business. And I mean, with that, I mean, just having that simple mind, I can get a machine, and just having even the idea of placing it in front of your house, which you can do, of going through the red tape, a simple applying, process of applications, which is nothing. And I mean, it's
where
a step
do
by
you
step.
apply?
You apply with your court, but basically at the county clerk.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah.
So I mean, to have a business, in
the registration of it. Yeah. You can apply online for it, and I mean, it's just like right now, starting small. Most people would want to start with a sole proprietorship, which is the basic, simplest business form that you can have. You're not a big corporation. You don't have to file a whole bunch of paperwork. It's not a nuisance. So this is something that you can, hey, this is simple, work at home type basis. And so with that idea, I mean, you could do it online, or you go down to the county clerk office and you just register. You register your business name. Simple as that. $20. $20 gonna make you $1,000. You see what I'm saying?
And do you also have to go get your tax ID?
Yes,
Okay.
tax ID. All of it can be done online, but I mean, even if the online thing is kind of intimidating, go straight downtown and speak tax controller's office. And see, this comes later though. Just have in mind right now, just hey, if that's your thing, vending. I mean, rather it's having a restaurant or whatnot, you can start somewhere. And I mean, hey, $400, one machine. And go from there. But like I say, the registration process, that'll be the most difficult part to any person that probably gets into that business.
Yeah, Brother Vic, do you have any questions?
No, brother. I'm just excited to have this brother here tonight and be able to set the blueprint and show young brothers that we got brothers on this side of town that, hey, man, we're going to keep moving, man, in a positive direction, man. And that's what this show is about, exposing people out there that East Lubbock, Texas is alive and well, and we got some great young brothers and sisters out there that are willing to move forward and do some great things in this area, man.
Right.
See, the point is that you're role modeling for us right now.
Right.
Not just for young people, but for people, period, who have an interest in getting into the business sector to make a living.
Right.
Because all manners of making a living is business, but we're talking about legitimizing your life.
True.
And some people, we have people with the mindset that people who are successful, they don't be successful until they're 100 years old.
Wow.
But here you are, young, vibrant, and you have your own business. These are the type of things that we want people to start doing, is to learn that your aspiration to be a businessman can start when you get ready to start.
Right.
Already.
The time is now.
Already, man.
Wow.
And when we come back on East Lubbock, Texas Live, we're going to cover some more things, man. Y'all come right on back. Peace.
Y'all stay tuned.
Hey, Facebook families, welcome back to East Lubbock, Texas Live. I'm your host, Victor Hatchett, with my co-host, Brother Skyrie, and we got our special guest, Andrew, in the building. And hey, we're going to continue to elaborate on some things. We're going to talk about how important it is, Drew, to give back to your community and to continue to be a positive asset in your community, man. Just kind of talk about that, man, how important it is for you to be a positive image and give back into the community, brother.
Brother Vic, man, I feel like it's very important, man, and that's not even to go, that's not even saying enough, like how important it is to give back to the community that you're, involved in, that you are raised in. See, like East Side Lubbock, for example, this is where my mama was raised, grandma was raised, and, so forth. So, I mean, not to give back, to go and support other stores that are not, giving back to our side of town, it's kind of, in the sense of going the wrong direction. Because, see, we would have more if we give back to each other. That's the whole unity process that we were speaking about. And understanding that's why I say it takes time. But, I mean, I've seen progress over these last years. I mean, I can't say that we haven't came together, and that's not what I'm saying. So, but to say it's very important, and to have us all come together on a common ground, even though we got different agendas, different goals, that's cool. We can be as separate as the fingers, yet one as the hand, and that's a force, and that's how a community comes together. You wonder why, sometimes this side looks more dilapidated and this side looks better. And it's a lot of times because they do a lot of free community service. I mean, I might be an electrician, and Susan that stay down the street has electricity problems. And I do it for free because this is my community. Or you might have a lawn service. And even though you go out and network and make your money, but in your community, your neighborhood, you provide the service free. And that's how you build and grow. Your neighbors are looking out for each other rather than stealing from each other. And it seems as small as that, picking up a piece of trash. That thing they do in China, the whole culturism thing is powerful. And we can start now. The thing is, like I say, the smallest picking up a piece of trash, but you don't see that complexities are made up of simples. And that's the whole idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that the program is designed to show that we can give back.
Right.
What we have here is a culture difference. The culture and the climate of this culture is about get yours, I'm gonna get mine. You get in my way, I'm gonna run over. You see what I'm saying? You have people who I heard it in a rap where it was a lyric that says, "Hey, the people on the street next to us, we used to love, but tomorrow we might rob them and kill them." You see what I'm saying? This is being said out of the minds of people who have that mentality or who are breeding that mentality. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay, and the reason why we do what we're doing is because there are 3 different cultures sitting in this room tonight.
Yeah.
You know, I came up in a culture from the 60s and the 70s. He came in a culture in the 80s and 90s up to the 2000s. Here you are in the 2000s. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And those three different cultures breeded different mentalities and attitudes that we call fads, not faggots, but fads. That was the trend of those cultures. You see?
Right.
But in all of those cultures, there's always been this one voice: let's get together. Let's get back together. Let's stay together. That's what Al Green said. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay together. Okay, and we can do so.
Right.
But in my view of this giving back, we have to have those 3 generations together.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Our seniors, the generation before me, the 60s and the 50s, these are individuals who have earned the right to sit and tell us what we can do. What has worked for them. Not saying that it's some old formulas in a new decade, you know what I'm saying, or a new generation or a new century.
Right.
We're talking about what actually works. And what you're talking about is as simply as being a good neighbor.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Business-wise, we've had more people striving to retire with 401ks than we have people with the idea of passing what they built onto their own.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? We've had more of that because we've been socialized to be individuals who work for somebody and be approved to retire at their job. And then because you were so good until you were 70 years old, well, they say 65, 62, but many of those people don't get the benefits till 70. All right. And what can they do then besides buy medicine? Many of them because of health problems. You see what I'm saying? In other words, you've been used up by these people who say 401k should be your striving rather than strive to accomplish something that you can pass on to your own.
Wow.
And that's what we want. That's why you're here today, brother. Because you're starting now.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And there are many other young men and women that are doing so.
Absolutely.
But what we want to do is increase that number. We want to increase that number. And your presence here today shows that it can happen.
Yeah.
Because you did something some of these young people haven't done. Some of these young people just didn't get that scholarship, or that scholarship didn't put them in the NBA.
Right.
You went to an institution that was designed to really make you null and void.
Right.
But there's where you cultivated this idea.
Exactly.
And motivated yourself not to be a statistic of the institution that they say that we are directed to.
Right.
Rather than to spend $3,000 or even support the free tuition in college,
Right.
they build more prisons. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What we're trying to do now is say we have a living example right here in East Lubbock, Texas, showing that entrepreneurship is alive and well even among our young people.
Already. Hey, man, what a topic, man. And when we come back off of East Lubbock, Texas live, hey, we're going to continue to elaborate a little more on some more other things. Y'all come on back.
True that.
Hey, YouTube family, welcome back to East Lubbock, Texas Live. I'm your host, Victor Hatchett, and my co-host, Brother Skyr, and our special guest, Andrew, in the building tonight, man. Hey, we're getting ready to talk a little politics, man. There's a lot going on the political scene right now.
Definitely.
Hey, man, let's elaborate a little bit on that, man. You know, you got Donald Trump, who just fired the FBI director for investigating him on the Russian probe. And now he's trying to say there's no ties with Russia. He just fired him because he mishandled Hillary Clinton emails. But a lot of people ain't buying that, man. It's a big soap opera going on in America with politics and the president we just elected. People talking about impeachment and different things like that. Let's elaborate a little bit on that, Brother Skyr, man. Let's see what you and Drew got to say about that a little bit.
Well, I'm going to tell you my take on that. What we have is the turning back of the clock
Mm.
with privileged people.
Wow.
You remember there was a case in the news a while back here in Texas where this young guy, they said he was affluential. This was an individual, they were saying that he was too rich to know what right and wrong is.
Woo.
Donald Trump is a billionaire. Huh? Now you can't associate that definition. He don't know right from wrong is at his age. But as far as being rich and powerful and believing that he don't owe anybody anything, look at how he's treated the whole government that he now runs. Huh? But what it is has always been power to manipulate even when you're wrong. Now, why would you fire the FBI agent that can expose whether Russia has tampered with our voting? Mainly because the person he hired, like the Bushes did, Bushes hired Cheney to tap into the oil in Iraq before they killed Saddam Hussein. Now here it is, they have $500 billion deal that was being made before Trump went into office with the Secretary of State, the present Secretary of State.
Secretary Tillerson.
And all of these people had ties, have done business with people in that area. I mean, let's just be real, man. It's in our face. We have a society that will see something in our face and will only whisper about it. The fact is when they say, look, you remember when they said the statement a while back, look what the White House looked like when white men are back in charge.
Wow.
I mean, the thing is not covert anymore. Can you say or can you doubt that white supremacist threads are still there or have raised his head again out of the sand? Because if you fire the man that it was also reported that Trump also told him to say, let him alone. Leave him alone. Don't say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? Don't continue this investigation. And when he chooses not to adhere to what the president said, you're fired. Remember?
Like he on The Apprentice or something.
Like he's on The Apprentice. You're fired. Or like he's being who he's always been. Somebody that has fired many people who did not submit to his rights or his wrongs. Being justified by him.
Right.
You see? You remember, even when they stood there and said that we finally repealed Obamacare, they celebrated like we finally assassinated the attempt of a black man's ideal of what care is supposed to be. When he's trying to make everything affordable for people. And even the Republican Party is saying that he can't get rid of some of the things that are there because they're necessary, but because of who did it. A African American, a black man in America who's been in charge of America, who all the people who have really made a whole lot of things nasty about him, we can say that's fake news. You see? We can say that's fake news because if you look at what the progress was being made, he had to do a whole lot of straightening up that Republicans messed up in the first place.
Already.
You see? So now here we have Donald Trump, a psychopath. We have people saying that the leadership in this country is at its worst in decades with Donald Trump. But do he care? No, he's in Disneyland. This is like Disneyland to him. He can play with this until they put him out, and guess what he's gonna do? Go right back to his mansion in New York.
That's right.
In penthouse in New York.
Already.
That's what he's gonna do.
Already.
You see what I'm saying? So what we have to do is buckle our seatbelts, man.
Definitely.
That's what we got to do.
Because this is gonna be a bumpy ride.
Already.
And if he does anything positive, man, thank God for that.
Hey, and when we come back on East Lubbock, Texas Live, we're going to continue to elaborate with our special guest, Drew, in the building. Y'all come on back. Hey, YouTube family. Welcome back to East Lubbock, Texas Live. I'm your host, Victor Hatchett, with my co-host, brother Askari. And we got young Andrew in the building tonight, man. And hey, this show is brought to you by Black Brick, Paul's Barbershop, and Something Fresh Cleaners. Hey, Drew, when we left a while ago, we were elaborating a little bit on the Donald Trump situation and what's going on in the state of America right now with the leader we have in place. Hey, you kind of elaborate a little bit on that, man. What do you think about the political state in America right now, brother?
I mean, it's a controversial subject, but how I see it, the state of America right now, we're in a better position than we think we're in, but we can be going much further. And I say that with confidence and understanding that it's not just the president that controls everything. You know, you look at the hidden hand behind the scenes and you go deeper and understand politics, you see the Congress and other things are at force versus just one person making decisions for us. And we have a lot of influence. You know, there's power in numbers, there's power in people. That's the community coming together again, understanding how much we don't vote and things of that, the statistics. And I mean, it's a lot of times because we don't care. I mean, hey, man, my vote, you know, and that's the attitude. And with that, you're very wrong. And see, business fits into that, you know, with business now, you know, and that's how the government is ran, if you understand that. You know, business, it's the economy, you know, without money, you flat out, you know what I mean? And that's not to say money is everything, but they've used it in a sense to make you think that you basically money is all you without it, you're non-existent. And that helped me now. I mean, because
I'm gonna show you something about that. Not only black people and brown people and immigrants are appalled by Donald Trump, white people are.
right.
You know, here's a man that went totally against protocol. He slipped and told some top secrets to some people, bragging about what something to appease Russia, and as if though they are really a friend of ours. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This is what make white folk nervous about him being up there because he may do anything. He's like a live wire.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then when we go to talking about money, we understand that America is a cooperation.
Right.
See what I'm saying? They do trade all over the world.
Exactly.
You see, but now when you see what's going on in the White House, do you feel it right here as Paul Barbershop? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
This is what we're trying to get people to see. There's a politics that's going on there. There's a politics that affects us here. But the thing that affects us most is our inability to unite. Our inability to mobilize ourselves in this part of the country when we talk about what's going on in other parts of the country. You got young men in Atlanta rebuilding the city. You got young men in Florida. You got young men and women in New York. You got them everywhere around the country. There's being progress made, and some here.
Right.
But we believe and want to encourage people to increase our progress here, because there's no doubt that we've made progress. Because none of us are being born in the backyards anymore. Right. That's a progress. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But we have so many people disconnecting themselves from themselves.
No.
And they're doing it because they think the only way, many people think the only way that we're going to be successful is retire with 401ks or try to get as much money in the street as you can and dodge the prison, rather than to become universities ourselves, brother. You see, because we got in the 70s and in the late 70s and early 60s, we had so many people politically with master's degrees and PhDs on Skid Row, because the door, or that, what they call it, that glass ceiling, was in place. But this culture, your culture, brother, is the richest culture for black people and other minority people in the whole world. This here is the most business culture in the world, because you become a millionaire out your trunk.
Definitely.
And you're showing that you can be an entrepreneur straight out of prison. All you have to do is find out where those vending machines are, rather than where you can get them sacks.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I talked to a guy, Panama, I called him. He said, man, I've learned to sell the car from the bumper to the switch. Break it down to where I can get me a $30,000 car and sell it for $40,000 once I break it down. So this is nothing but ingenuous.
Right.
When an individual being put in a situation where you have to make something happen. See what I'm saying? And politics plays a hell of a role in our livelihood, bro.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate y'all watching East Lubbock, Texas Live. And we want you to continue to watch us. We're on every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And hey, brought to you by Black Bricks, Paul's Barbershop, and Something Fresh Cleaners. And we got something new for you coming up. We got What's Going On with Brother Oscar. Y'all continue to tune in.
Peace.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on?
This week in What's Going On. Yes, here we are again, y'all. We wanted to address our community about a commentary that Dan Jackson of Channel 11 made. What he was talking about was an issue with the city council of Lubbock, Texas. He said they were, at that particular time, they were more interested in picking drapes out for this new building rather than to still stay focused and concerned about the main issues concerning the citizens of Lubbock, Texas. We have so many people in our city that are bringing up issues that are being ignored. Well, think about this. This is what's been going on in East Lubbock, Texas for years. We have been concerned about why we have been disconnected to the growth of Lubbock, Texas. We've been told that by certain people who are doing some of the building around here, that Lubbock construction workers have built as far west as they possibly can go. That they're going to have to go in another direction. Let's see, will they come east? Or will they go south? Or will they go north? And avoid East Lubbock, Texas altogether again. We have young ladies in our communities that are getting ready to do whatever they can to do in our dance competitions. We have young men that are playing t-ball. We have parents that are still worrying whether or not their children are learning in school. But we also will continue to have strong people with strong minds who are not cowered down by odds against them, who will voice their views and not just have an opinion that doesn't have any weight. But the truth of the matter is, what we're doing now goes farther than anybody has ever went in this city as far as getting out there and reaching for the strength in our community so we can empower ourselves. This commentary is by Brother Ascari. This also is a support system for East Lubbock, Texas, sponsored by Paul's Barbershop, where we do our broadcast, sponsored by Black Bricks, which means bridging lives across cultures, communities, covenants, and creeds. Strongly, we are being bold, realistically, and intelligently conscious about what we are doing, and it is concrete. And also, Something Fresh Cleaners, where you can get your clothes clean at a decent price. We're asking you all to support the businesses that are supporting the community. Be a neighbor to the neighbors in the community. And if you have an idea about what will empower us, contact us at Paul's Barbershop. Because East Lubbock, Texas Live will live as long as we have breath in us. And as long as we have breath in us, we will fight for our rights. We will fight for your rights. But more so, we will fight to empower us as a community in East Lubbock, Texas. Peace.